All right, what's up, family? Got another great one for y'all today. This one here, another book review. This one's gonna be called No More Mr. Nice Guy by C. Kelly Robinson. There's a good review for you. This is an oldie but goodie. I read this some years ago. Had my wife just recently read it. So we thought we'd do a book for you guys. No More Mr. Nice Guy. That's what this book is about. So, before we get into the book, how about, I wanted to ask my wife here, how would you explain this book or describe it in a nutshell? What does it mean, no more Mr. Nice Guy? How would you explain it?
Well, it's very simple. I mean, I look at it as if you have this person that's constantly very nice person. They're very giving and giving and always there for someone. But then when they sit back and they realize, I'm no longer, with these trying to be nice to these people actually taking advantage of me.
She's right.
And it'll suddenly that person that's been so nice for too long changes. And then that person, the people that were actually just taking advantage of that person because that person was so nice, they looking at it like, you changed.
Yeah, exactly. Great way to put it. Well, y'all heard that terminology before. You know, the one where it says, nice guys always finish last.
Yeah.
That's how this book is, because it's a fact. It's the truth. When you are constantly a nice guy, this means woman or male or female. When you constantly a nice guy, it's a great feeling to be nice to any and everyone, right? But when you see people taking your kindness for weakness and think that they could step on you like a doormat, eventually, that sometimes change a person. You go, I'm tired of being nice, man. That nice stuff don't work. People always walk over you. Matter of fact, I believe we did a video like that, right? It said, that's the name of the video. When being too nice goes wrong. Trust me. We did that a while ago. Check that video out. So now, we're going to get into this book. Like I said, by C. Kelly Robinson, called No More Mr. Nice Guy. Now, the way this book starts out, you like the book?
I love it.
It was interesting, right?
Very.
All right, the way this book starts out, the main character, his name is Mitchell. Mitchell comes from a great family. They like accountants and lawyers or whatever the case. They come from a high class family, whatever, a respectable family and all that. He's taking this girl, Nikki, right?
Yes.
He's taking Nikki out to dinner. And it turns out he done took her out on multiple dinners, multiple walks in the park, multiple plays, movies. He's been taking her out often.
He go way
bend over backwards for her, right?
And beyond for this girl.
And on this particular night, he says to her, at dinner, he's all dressed up, looking nice and everything, smelling nice, everything perfect. So as they having dinner, of course, what do Nikki do? She's ordering all this fancy stuff that costs them tons of money. So as the meal is coming, and as they about finished their meal rather, finally Mitchell, you get a little bit of a backbone, and he says, Nikki, he turns to her and seriously, he said, listen, for the past 3 months, they went to school together, they went to college together and everything. They have a history. She know he's a good guy. But she always looked at him as, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's a good-looking guy, an accomplished guy, respectable guy, but she's still brushing him off. So on this particular day, he turns to her after dinner. He says, Nikki, he said, I wanted to talk to you about something real serious. And she's like, what is that? He says, we've known each other for a number of years. We went to school together. The respect is there and all this. He said, we're great friends. He said, but I want to be more than friends. It's like that old Full Force song, remember? Let's be friends before we are lovers. But anyway, that's what he said. He said, we've been friends for a long time. He said, but I want to be more than just friends. And I think he had grabbed her hand when he said that. And she snatched her hand back and she laughed. How disrespectful. She said, you want to be more than friends? She's like, I'm sorry, Mitchell, but I can't never see you nothing more than just my friend. And he was like, what? He said, I'm being serious. You find this funny? And she's like, I'm just so sorry, but I could never see you as nothing more than a friend. You're like a brother to me. We could never be more than that. So he said, really? And you sitting here laughing at me? So he said, all right, no problem. And she's like, she was just real disrespectful. So he said, waiter, bring the bill. So when the waiter brought the bill, he said, here you go. Will there be separate checks or will there be one check? He said, that's going to be separate checks, sir. She had the lobster steak and this and that. He said, so you could put her bill separate and mine. And so the waiter was like, okay, fine, I'll be back with the bill. And right away, the chick, Nikki, she said, "You son of a bitch. How dare you? You're going to make me pay for my..." He said, no. See, if we was a couple, of course I'll pay for the bill. He said, but friends, like you said, you only want to be friends. He said, friends don't take each other out on expensive dates, to the theater, to the movies, walks in the park, romantic walk. He said, no, friends don't do that. Friends, when they go out to dinner, you split the check. So you said you want to be friends, so let's be friends before we all love. So anyway,
Okay, but I have a
she
question.
threw the drink on him.
Yeah, but
See, as soon as she said, she threw the drink, and then she said, "You son of a bitch." She said, "It ain't my problem that I just want to be your friend. So what? You a cornball. It ain't my problem that you're such a sap and a sorry cornball. You're corny." He was like, he was hurt. Like, what?
and you think she was wrong?
Hell yeah.
Okay, well, you know what?
Shit, like the boy said on Martin, the preacher. Remember the preacher? Remember when Gina said, "So you're telling me you take the congregation money and you bought your own island and plane?" He was like, "Hell yeah." Hell yeah, I think she was wrong. But go ahead.
Well, I kind of disagree with you.
You think she was right?
No, let me tell you why. Mitchell had high expectations about this woman. Instead of him doing the research and making sure that, you know, it goes along in his way, he expected more.
Mm-hmm.
So how
Okay.
can he be upset with her? She
So-
is the person that she is.
So
She-
in other words, Mitchell, he was going about it in a very pretentious way. He was trying to impress her. Every other time he went out with something greater, something bigger. He kept trying to impress her. Like, look, I did this for you. I did that for you. And as always, you know I love to use the word of the day. So the word of the day is going to be that. Pretentious. 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 It simply means attempting to impress by greater importance. You know, when someone go out of their way, you know, you did this, but now they want to go, oh, but this here, let's do something more or say something more than what you already did or said. So you think he was being pretentious?
Yes,
It was-
because the thing is that he's trying. He didn't really do his homework.
Which
he didn't
would be?
prepare himself. He did not prepare himself.
Such as?
How is that I get these feeling for someone, and finding out in a humiliating way, like
she not
I'm
feeling on the
that
same
she's not-
page.
Yes.
Okay,
so, but the thing is that he's doing way over too much.
doing way
You know,
over to try to impress
yes,
her.
Instead of making it very simple.
So okay.
And it's just
So what
not.
you think he should have done?
He should, like I said, he should have done his homework. He should have at least go very step by step from the step one.
They went to school together. They have a history.
But that doesn't mean anything.
They know each other's family.
That
They
doesn't
spent
mean-
a lot of time together. How much more homework do y'all do?
Yeah, but you don't. That doesn't mean you know a person from back to front, front to back.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It takes years and years, maybe even more than what they from since high
True.
school to get to know a person.
I'm just playing devil's advocate because, you know, that's how you get a greater opinion for someone. You know, I'm playing devil's advocate, but you're right.
She
Some
had
people
his
put their
high-
best foot
yes.
forth. You think you know someone, but you find out later you didn't know them at all. So I get your point.
Thank
Mhm.
you. The thing is that he was going overboard with this woman because obviously he really got feelings
So,
for him.
but you didn't think that was disrespectful? She threw the
It
drink
was- it
on
was
him.
disrespectful.
She called him a cornball.
No, I'm
It ain't-
not applauding for what she did.
That was
really
real
wrong.
disrespectful. He
That
was so
really
hurt
wrong.
that's what makes the book real interesting. He was so hurt because he couldn't understand. He had a brother, older brother that was like 2 years older than him or something like that, right?
Yeah,
and his
Marvin.
brother had went through a bad divorce. His brother was celibate. He wasn't even having sex, but the women was crazy about his brother. Like, oh my God, he's so fine looking. And they looked like twins.
Yeah.
So even he was like, what the heck? His brother not even having sex with women, and we look just alike, but for whatever reason. But anyway, so what Mitchell do? He rents a hall. I think this was a genius move what he did. I don't know about you. So he was tired of being always thrown in the friend zone and being kicked to the side, saying, "Oh, you're a nice guy." And he was tired of being a nice guy because he said, "Man, this don't work. Being a nice guy. Nice guy really do finish last. I'm tired of being a nice guy." So he rented a hall and he ordered a whole bunch of food as a big banquet. And he got in touch. He sent memos out to every so-called player in his town. Now it seemed to kind of, what is he doing? I don't get it. What's going on here? So he had no women, all so-called players. he had come to this hall. And when they all got there and they seen all the food and all, and they was wondering what's going on too. And he got up on stage and he spoke to them. He said, I had all you guys come here because I'm doing a hiring process. I want to hire one of you guys, simply put, to teach me how to be a player or a dog, whatever makes sense to you. But one thing for sure, I am sick of being a nice guy. And so they went through the gambit of not this guy, not that guy, not guy, this guy. Oh, he got multiple kids. He don't take care of none of his kids. This guy here, oh man, he got a lot of. He's a player, but he's always in and out of jail. Or this guy, he went through a number of guys, and it came down to two in the end, right? Tony.
Well, that was his boys actually. Yeah. He knew him from back in the school.
Yeah, it came down to Tony, and I forgot what the other guy, Trey.
Trey. Yeah.
Came down to Tony and Trey. He hired them to teach him how to be a player. And this where the books gets interesting, because all them other guys was put to the side, and the word had got out on the street back to Nikki and to other women. They said, "What the heck is Mitchell doing? I heard he rented a hall. What's going on?" They didn't know, and I like what Tony told Mitchell right from the jump. Now that he hired him, he said, "I'm willing to teach you how to be a player like us," because he looked at Tony's background and he see Tony had a number of women. And women was crazy about this guy. It wasn't that he was no drop-dead gorgeous guy, but he had the gift of gab. He knew how to be a player. Yeah, so he was like, I'm going to learn from this guy. And I like what Tony told him from Jump Street. He said, if we're going to do this, you got to agree by all my rules and don't question me about nothing.
But you know what? I was very happy that Mitchell had those kind of friends.
They were genuine friends.
Yeah, they were genuine friends, because it gave him the training, the right training
that he needed
to be able to open up his eyes and say, "Oh, is this the way?"
All right.
But it's not. There's certain things that you can change, but it's not worth being that much of a player or much of a dog.
Now, speaking of that, what she's talking about, one of the first rules Tony said, it was like the following day. He said, "All right, we out now. You in training. This is gonna be one of the training courses." He said, like they went out at a mall or whatever. He said, "This is what's gonna be called getting your thick skin." And of course, Mitchell was like, "What? Thick skin? What that mean, thick skin? You know, just like a callus, a sore, whatever." He said, "All right." He said, "You see that fine looking lady over there at the mall, right?" He said, "Beautiful, right?" He said, "I want you to go over there and drop your best line you could give her. I don't care how corny it is or whatever, but I want." And then Mitchell was like, "Yeah, but what?" He said, "What did I tell you? No questions. You ought to do what I tell you. I'm going to teach you how to be a player." And this process here is called thick skin. So sure enough, he had went over to the girl and said whatever line he said. And matter of fact, no, I think Tony told him exactly what to say, which was something vulgar. He told him like, "Go up to that lady right there and tell her she got a fine ass backside and you would love to sex her up," or something like that.
Yeah.
Something crazy. And he was like, "What?" He said, "You're going to do what I told you. You serious about it?" So he went over there and said them exact words. "Ooh, baby, you look fine as hell. I would love to get you in a sack." And sure enough, the lady was like,
he got slapped.
She slapped the mess out. And he came back to Tony. He's like, "Why would you make me do that?" And he was like, "How did it feel getting slapped?" He said, "Man, what kind of training is this?" He said, "Didn't feel too good, did it? Well, get ready. Get ready to do it again. See the other lady over there? I want you to go over there." And he had him going over there. The purpose of it, like he said, is called thick skin. He said, so after he got slapped, drink thrown on him, cussed out and over, he said the purpose of this, you're building up a thick skin. Yeah. You're going to get so used to getting rejected that eventually getting rejected is not even going to feel like nothing. And that's the process of being a player. You can't be afraid to approach any woman, no matter what the consequences going to happen. So finally he started getting it. And it's just like I seen on the news many years ago. Isn't this crazy? They did a report on the news many years ago about how easy and crazy it is to have sex with people. Where they had a news lady out in the street and they said, "Do you believe if you just stand here with a crowd of people and just ask people to have sex with you?" She said, "Of course you're going to get cussed out, slapped, call the cops or whatever." She said, "But out of 100 people, trust me when I tell you, somebody eventually going to say yes." And that's what's called the thick skin. You got to be used to getting rejected, but eventually somebody going to say yes. And sure enough, this is what was happening to him. Eventually he did get rejected and ridiculed and abused and embarrassed so much that eventually it meant nothing to her. He was not afraid to approach no woman.
Do you know that in today's society, which is the modern world,
Mm-hmm.
do you know that actually there is good guys that have to become that way because?
It's a shame.
But I'm gonna tell you something. Back in the days where your great great grandmother and your great great grandfather,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't have to go through all of that, and they carried themselves with class.
Yes.
And
True.
they was able to easily
Mhm.
approach a woman and be able to give their heart, to steal
Mhm.
their heart.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
don't find that no more. So that's why there's
Yeah.
men out here
Mhm.
and females. They have to become brutal.
Yeah, because
And
a lot of
brutal
women love to
because-
play this game. Women don't want to admit it, but women love to be lied to. They love to be cheated on. They love the nonsense. That's another video we did called "Does the Thug Hit It Better?" Trust me, check that video out because we got it from this too. That's what
Uh-huh.
made me do that video because women love them nonsense. Know why y'all love the thug? Because the thug brings the drama, and the drama. Know what the drama really know what the drama equates to? Foreplay. Give you another step.
Yeah,
Here
but
we
that's
go-
not. Yeah, but since you're saying that, baby, it's not. It's not all. Practically most females.
No,
out
you
there,
can
it's
never
just
say
got
all.
some,
You can
got
never
some,
you can
yeah.
never say all, but most women love the drama because the drama is the foreplay. All right, now he went through the getting a thick skin. Then he went through another process. I like this other process he went through where Tony paid a very attractive woman that he know. He paid this attractive woman to spread the word around town that she was sexing up Tony. Now they never had sex at all, but she was spreading the word that how fine Mitchell is and how good he is in the bed and how much she loved his attention and how much he does for her. And oh man, I love spending time with him. Right? This was a fine, attractive woman. But by her spreading the rumors, it goes back to my point. Women love to be lied to. They love to be cheated to. They don't admit it because it's a form of foreplay. By this attractive women spreading the word around town about how fine and good he is in the bed, it make other women go, I'm interested. You see?
Yeah.
You see the nonsense?
I mean, it is sad that it has to take that type of behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I mean, we can't knock females. I mean, as the way they are. You got male too that they have.
You interested because somebody else said that they was good.
Yeah.
And now all of a
a
sudden
man won't be interested in this woman because for whatever reason. But now that she got a man, now he's interested in her.
Yeah, and they
What
made
you going
sure
for?
she made sure every now and then they seen around town together. But there's nothing going on at all. It was part of the plan. See, it's amazing how some people you just attracted to somebody. So it's like I said, it's amazing how when other people talk and express how great somebody is, other people start looking at that person totally different. It's like a woman probably who normally comes in the company of a guy every day or whatever, and she just respects him, knows the family, and that's that, and have a nice conversation, that's it. But if some other woman all of a sudden was to tell that very same woman, oh girl, you know, he's good in the bed, he's so fine, he does this and he's done, you know what? All of a sudden that same woman, now when she see that guy, she'll be like, oh yeah, I don't know what it is. There's something about him. He is fine. Oh my gosh, I got all sweaty inside when I seen him this time. Why? Because she say so? It's like your homegirl off of, remember the old grandma off of the Nutty Professor? Because everybody else said Mike Douglas was famous and this and that. Remember at the dinner table, she's like, Mike Douglas, he make me moist. And remember, that's when Cletus
was an old part.
Cletus was like, he's like, now that I lost my appetite. Who agreed to take this old bag out in the back and put it out of misery? He's like, see, let me tell you something, Cletus. I ain't no easy win. But that's how it is in real life. When you go bragging about your man or your woman, you make other people start looking at them and go, And all it was, that was a part of Tony's play. Like he said, he paid a very attractive woman to basically put herself out there like he was doing all this to her. Because other women look at that attractive woman like, dang, if he with her, man, he must be real good in the bed because she fine as heck and he with her and she bragging about, I need to get a taste of. And before you know it, that same girl, Nikki, who remember she brushed him off. Now she was trying to meet up with Mitchell, and she was like, you know what? I want to apologize about how I acted before, but if we could have some time and we could spend some time together, I'd like to go out on a date with you, this and that. And now, see, his plan was working out.
Right.
It's amazing. I gotta be a dog to get your attention.
But you know, he got a couple of. Mitchell had a couple of numbers. Remember, he had his 2 boys that told him how to play the game.
Yes.
And he had a. But even though his heart.
He still was a nice guy.
That, yeah.
Cause he ain't like how stuff was. It's like, damn, I'm getting this attention because I'm a dog.
Yeah, because he wasn't. It wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
Playing all these females.
Exactly.
And he didn't have the right heart to do it.
Yeah. And now that Nikki wanted to be in his life and wanted a relationship, and now they wound up having sex for the first time, this and that. And all she kept saying to herself after they had sex, please don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. And then she even went to her mother. She had to talk with her mother about her past, because her mother seen her with this other dude, because she was messing around.
Right.
Remember, she was messing around with Jomo and all these other cats. But her mother got on her case one day about, because this day, she supposed to have breakfast with her mother. And her mother showed up at the house early in the morning while her other man was in the house, and now she had to explain who this guy was, and she felt embarrassed. Right. And when the guy left, the mother explained to her, she said, listen, I don't approve of you out here messing with all these other men out here. Girl, you need to get your life together. She's like, Ma, I don't need to hear all this. I don't need to. And she said, no, you're going to hear this. Remember that? Mm-hmm. She said, you're going to hear this. Yeah. Because let me tell you something, girl. She said, I'm going to tell you something. I was no angel growing up. I got to be honest with you. I was a fast tail. I was out there messing with all kind of other men. And I'm going to tell you, that's how we wound up having you. I love you, but that's how we wound up having you. And that's what I didn't like, because she resented her father. Act like he was a piece of crap. But even her father told her, because they didn't grow up together, he had his own family, and she hated the fact that he had another family with her sisters, as she said, her half-sisters. Yeah, but it's not his fault. And when he finally had a talk with her, he told her, he said, listen, you spitting all this hate towards me, but I never did nothing wrong to your mother. You acting like I did her wrong. Listen, me and your mother met one night. We had a one-night stand. It just so happened she got pregnant. But I did right by her as far as I could. But you always doing me dirty, talking dirty on me like I did her wrong. And so she had to get her father's side of the story. She still kind of resented him, but as maturity grew, she realized he was a good man. But you always dogged him. But I like what her mother, I was shocked. Remember, her mother was honest. Her mother basically told her that, yeah, I was a hoe. She was like, I was out there being a fast ass, and she went deeper, you remember? Right. She even her mother told her about her grandmother, which is her grandmother. She said, your grandmother, you know, my mother, which is your grandmother, you know, she was out there being real. I thought I was fast. I mean, your grandmother was out there being real fast.
It is no excuse about the way Nikki was bringing out herself out
with
there.
Different men all the time.
Different men.
Because this is what she's been taught. You seen your mother like that? You seen your grandmother like that?
Yeah, but it also has to come a certain age, a stage where I don't want to be like my mom, or I don't want to be like my father.
Gotta break that cycle.
You gotta because now you're grown. You're an adult. Now you gotta act with some maturity.
True.
So it's not no excuse just because the mother was a hoe or.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not making excuse. I just was surprised that the mother was so honest, and she basically told her I was a hoe.
But that was also wrong about Nikki. She never got the side story
of her father's side
of her father.
Yeah.
And it's like you're looking at him in different ways. It's like you're already judging him without you even having.
There's always another side. That's another one of our videos. Check it out. It's called Different Perspective. You got to get a different person's perspective. You can't just go on this one person all your life, because you're going to find out later in life, man, I never got this side of the story.
Exactly.
You know? That's sad. But yeah, I just was surprised that the mother told her the truth. It's like that. Remember that old Eddie Murphy thing where he said, if you could buy my book for $9.99 on how to be a hoe, I could guarantee you that I could make you a hoe. That was so stupid, yo. Oh, how to be a hoe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now they were starting to mingle more. Now Nikki found herself so attracted to Mitchell.
Yeah.
Remember she said, it ain't my fault, you a corny cornball, do the drink on. Now that the word got around, he was so many different women, you seen him with different women, you want him. See, you like the old lady from the Nutty Professor. Mike, that make me more. You want him just because other women is talking about him, even though the one lady was a fake.
Right.
I said, look at you, see this? Like I said, women love to be lied to. You want to be cheated to because you like the drama that comes with it, but you would never admit it.
Yeah, it's most women like that, but it's
Not all.
few that, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you can never say all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing, even that, throughout him trying to do what his boys did, it's so funny how you play with somebody's feelings, but that person is playing the same cards.
Oh, I
Now
like
remember,
that. I like that.
yeah, it was
Tony.
Tony.
Tony's a player.
Yeah,
I know where you're going.
had a woman in his side that was it was his world. Her name was Juanita.
Uh-huh.
And he decided to be with her and pushing her on the side like, no, I'm not gonna marry you now and all that, but she knew that he was playing her.
So, and he got with that old saying, give a person a taste of their own medicine. Like he was being a player, she was out there being a player.
Yeah.
And when he found out, he was crushed because he thought he was the biggest
He
player
didn't
of all.
even know how to react.
He was like, I can't believe she did me like this. Like
He was wild.
And another thing I didn't like, but I do like rather, is the thing with Mitchell. See, now that he's a dog, right? He getting all the attention that players get. Now Nikki want him like crazy. But isn't it crazy? I remember Bill Bellamy said this many years ago. He said, be careful who you like, because you might be attracted to that guy right there, but that guy don't find you attractive. You might be attracted to that young woman right there, that female right there. Just because you attract her, she might be attracted to somebody else. So everybody that you want ain't always who you get, or whatever the case. Because it was amazing how Mitchell was very attracted to Nikki, but Nikki wasn't attracted to him at first. But meanwhile, Mitchell started messing with Gina, right?
Right.
Gina was very attracted to Mitchell, but Mitchell only looked at Gina as a play toy.
Right.
And isn't that crazy? She attracted to you, but you're not attracted to her. You attracted to Gina, but Gina not attracted to you. But Gina eventually became attracted to him because once the word got out that he's a sex-craved dude in the bed and all.
Yeah, exactly. But then
Now
Gina,
she found him irresistible.
Yeah, but Gina was also playing him.
Yeah, but then she was ready to let all that
Mitchell.
go because now she's seen Mitchell and she admitted it. Remember, she said, I can't believe my everything, my Prince Charming, everything I want in a man has been right in front of my face all these years, and I never seen it. Yeah, he had to go dog status in order for you to see it. This is the guy that you want. He's smart, he's intelligent, he's accomplished. He got everything going for himself.
Right.
Fine, good looking, everything. And you didn't see that. He had to become a dog in order for you to finally go,
Yeah,
this
but
my
you
good
know,
man.
what? Gina was more scandalous than Nikki.
Woo! Yeah, Gina
She
got
was
pregnant.
By some
Yeah.
other different guy. But
And blamed it on Mitchell.
Yes.
I'm going
and
to blame
you
it
know
on the
what?
responsible guy that got his stuff together.
Yes, and the weaker one.
Yeah, because he's
'Cause
a
she knew
nice
he's
guy.
a nice guy.
Turns out it wasn't even his kid. And that's how a lot of women do out there.
Yeah.
You mess with this guy, that guy, that guy. You get pregnant, and then they say, out of all the guys I mess with, now I'm pregnant. I got to find the one that got a job, got his stuff together, and I'm going to blame that one. And that's what Gina did, and they found out it wasn't his after a while. But he was stressing like, man, she said it's my kid.
And you know what? He felt that they was gonna be his because he said, "Oh man,
I was with her.
I was with her."
But it was his
They
friends, the players, that they told. They said, man, let me
Yes.
tell you something, man. Let us do our homework. I guarantee you, she
But
messed
I'm
around
so
with other.
happy that that's what Mitchell had his boys with him. I'm so
I like
happy.
when you was reading, you
Yes.
said that. You said a lot of
It's
men
good.
out there need friends
like
like Tony
Mitchell.
and Trey for Mitchell. A lot of men, they need guidance. They need somebody that got more experience to let them know, because otherwise he'd have been, unfortunately, one of these guys paying child support all his life. They had to school him and say, nah, man, trust me, give us time. I'm gonna hook a date up with her. One of them went out on a date with her, and he
got a
snuck
little
her book.
booklet.
And he got in contact with all her guy friends, and they found out down the line she was messing with multiple guys, and they got him off the hook. But if they wasn't there, like you said, he would have
Right.
fell for it.
Yeah, you know how you got so many men out there that
They fall for it.
they paying for child support with
It's not even their
theirs.
kid.
Isn't that sad?
So I love that you said that it was good he had Tony and friends like Tony and Trey to school him. Like, man, you was about to be played. But hey,
Yeah.
anything in closing? Because we'll make this video too long.
Yeah.
Anything in closing?
Good men out there, just don't be played. Don't be too nice. I mean, you can balance your way of life. Just don't be too nice and be blinded by too many scandalous chicks out there.
And like the other video I said we got, it's called Different Perspective. like my wife said, it's always good to have that older brother, older uncle, someone to give you a better advice that you don't see it from their perspective. They may school you, even for a young female. You know, it's great to have uncle, granddad, auntie, mom. Listen,
But with
they got more
experience.
life experience that they could
Yeah.
school you on something that you didn't see coming. Because I like what you said. You got so many men out here paying child support and the kid not even theirs. Because they don't got a friend like Tony and Trey.
Yeah.
And on that note, we're going to let y'all go. Subscribe, share, like, and comment. Remember, the word of the day was pretentious. Oh, I didn't get to that point. Like I said, the word of the day is pretentious, meaning to it. And that's how it was for Mitchell. You know, he was trying to impress her in the beginning, you know, to get her attention, whatever. He's very pretentious. But pretentious, another way, as I said, to broaden your vocabulary. Another way for y'all viewing audience out there to remember the word pretentious, just think about it. How many times you was talking to a family member, co-worker, or whatever, right? You might have gave a scenario, a story, something that was bothering you, or whatever the case, right? And y'all know what I'm talking about. When you gave your story, it was always that pretentious co-worker always got to top your story. Always got to one-up your story. That's what you call pretentious. Like you might say, man, I was going through this on the job, man. Listen, I can't believe they had me do this. And then your coworker, he always got to say something like this. Man, I don't have that problem, man. Let me tell you, man, I'm going to give you one better. You know, those type of people. No matter what the subject you talking about, this joke I always talk about. Man, I got a better story than that. Man, let me tell you about what happened to me. We ain't talking about you. Why you got to always one-up my story? No matter what I'm talking about, you got to say, I got one better than that. That's pretentious. You keep one up my story. You trying to impress me by trying to tell a story greater than my story.
Yes.
Like,
Try and impress.
and on that note, we're going to let y'all go. Remember, broaden your vocabulary. Subscribe, share, like, and comment. Peace.